This is a video on Dr. K, Healthy Gamer GG. Alrighty, so Dr. K explains panic attacks. Alright.
How do you handle panic attacks? Number one, pharmacology. So we can use an agent like an SSRI, SNRI. We got to be careful with some of this stuff like venlafaxine, which can, in some patients, make anxiety a little bit worse.
So I had panic attacks before, a couple times before. So this is why this is kind of interesting. So I chose like the recent Healthy Gamer GG video. This isn't just any random video. It's just a recent one. But yep, let's watch it.
But people will say, but Dr. K, if I take the medicine and I stop taking the medicine, will the panic attack return? The answer is probably. But this is where we get to number two, skills training. This is where things get really fun. So what are the skills that we want to train with panic attacks? The first skill that we want to train is breaking vicious mental cycles, to snap out of it. So here's what happens in a panic attack. I have a thought. And once I have a thought, it activates my sympathetic nervous system. Cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline. Okay? Now here's the big problem. I have a series of cell clusters along my spine called the sympathetic chain ganglia. So they go all along the spine. My thoughts connect to nerves. Nerves travel down my sympathetic chain ganglia, activate my sympathetic chain ganglia. My heart rate increases, my blood pressure increases. The sympathetic chain ganglia go to these little areas right above my kidneys called my adrenal cortices, where they secrete cortisol and all this kind of stuff. Here's the big problem. All of these are hormones, and hormones are chemical messengers that don't act locally. They travel through the bloodstream, and they activate every part of our body, including our brain. And adrenaline does something really scary in the brain. It makes possibilities feel real. It makes potential dangers feel like real dangers. So it also increases the speed of our thoughts. It increases the activation of our emotional centers. So this increases the number of thoughts we have. And the more thoughts we have, the more it activates our chain ganglia. The more thoughts we have, more chain ganglia activation. There we have a panic attack. So how do we break this cycle? We break it in the thinking, and we break it in the physiology.
So I'll give you guys my kind of like real life kind of example when I had a panic attack. Yes, like almost like you're very sensitive to sound, and like things get louder. Your heart does beat a lot faster and things like that. The way I handle it, and okay, and let me tell you the feeling. The feeling is like you're like you're hyper scared. Like you're like it's almost like you go into like a haunted house, but like that, but like constant. So the way I kind of like, you know, went through that is like I just like keep myself calm, kind of thing. I go into like this meditative kind of thing. I close my eyes, you know, I just kind of like waited it out, kind of thing, and then it just slowly kind of like goes away. But it does get very kind of scary kind of thing with panic attacks. Yeah, I thought at first when I had that, I thought I had a heart attack. And I remember my first one, I like call my parents or call someone kind of thing, cause like I was like I'm freaking out. But yeah, it's just like you gotta like kind of like calm your whole self kind of thing in a meditation kind of thing.
If we activate the parasympathetic nervous system through something like a meditation technique, right? Where y'all will see this kind of thing, like, you know, that people used to do in movies, where they're breathing into a paper bag. Why are they breathing into a paper bag? Really fascinating. So when your sympathetic nervous system is activated, your respiratory rate increases. I start to hyperventilate. When I hyperventilate, two things happen. My O2 increases, but this is more important. My CO2 decreases. This happens way more than O2 increasing. Or O2, really ventilation is more about blowing off CO2. So now my CO2 level is really, really, really low. This can make me feel lightheaded. So when I breathe into a paper bag, I start breathing less oxygen and more CO2. The concentration of air inside the bag is CO2, 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 and then just one O2. The more I breathe into it, y'all get that? It's just like I'm exhaling CO2, I'm inhaling O2. Now, this is the really cool thing. As the O2 concentration in the bag decreases, as this goes down, I require deeper breaths. Now I need to breathe more deeply. I don't want to just breathe at the surface. I don't want to just let this stuff come in and out. What I need to do is take a deep breath. I need to inhale everything in the bag to get this O2 that's at the bottom.
Scribe is how you.
I feel like whenever an ad plays, they just know kind of thing. What? Imagine literally waking up 20 minutes ago in the middle of the night feeling extremely anxious only to find this video here. Hey, for sure. Appreciate this video helping others kind of thing. I dealt with severe panic attacks for about a decade after a traumatic event. EMDR therapy was the thing that finally got me back on my feet. They still pop up every once in a while, but so much better. So much more rare than before. Okay. Hey. For sure. For sure on that.
Kind of makes sense because if I breathe in and out, right, that's going to be right at the surface. At the top of the paper bag is where it's going to be full of CO2. So I need to breathe deeply. Once I breathe deeply, my respiratory rate is now going down. If my respiratory rate goes down, my thinking goes down. The speed of your mind is related to the length of your exhalation. This is what we learned in meditation. Length of exhalation is very, very, very important. Slow exhalation will slow down your mind. So we activate the parasympathetic nervous system through things like breathing techniques. And then if we break the cycle over here, then we can break the cycle on both ends. Now, here's why pharmacology helps with skills training. If you look at studies basically on any illness, what we find is that if you combine psychotherapy with medicine, the effect is symbiotic. So they help each other out. The question is why? So if I have a level 100 panic attack and I have a level 50 skill, this is insufficient. So what happens...
One sec, y'all. I need to close the door. Door going off and on kind of thing. Alright, my bad, yo.
Is if I try to use my skills, it's not enough, right? And then the panic attack blows over my ability to regulate it, so I get GG'd out. The cool thing about the medicine is the medicine brings it down to level 50. And now my skills are enough. So now that the size of the panic has been artificially reduced by the pharmacology, my skills are able to handle it, and then something cool happens. I level up my skill. Each time
for sure. You know, I'm just watching recent videos of people I appreciate and shout out kind of thing. But yeah, you know, cool explanation, Dr. K. I might finish this off stream. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we're just going to go on to the next appreciation. But hey, appreciate you, Dr. K, explaining panic attacks.